What's up, buddy? Today I'm talking about a topic which is near and dear to my heart. The topic of video game journalism. And honestly, just saying those two words is kind of bittersweet. I don't talk about this often, but when I was a kid, when I was in high school, when I was in middle school, my honest dream, the goal I was striving towards, was to be a video game journalist. And it's a goal that I did eventually achieve, and I was in that industry for many years, and it ended badly, and I look at that industry now, and I'm sad. I'm sad about what happened to video game journalism. It got taken over by a bunch of shrieking, angry babies, and they're still there, and they're clueless. And I'm just playing this waiting game, waiting for all of their outlets to collapse and die, and hopefully for sane people to take over. We're going to talk about what they're doing now, because today they're up to their old tricks, the gaming journalists. Before we do, hit that subscribe button, and support independent media. Not just me, any creator on YouTube you find that you like. I hope you'll subscribe to them, because I hope you understand that guys like us have been pushed out of the mainstream, because we don't have the good ideas. We're not the good people. We're a little edgy. We make off-color jokes. And really the only thing we can do is try to make content supported by you, the viewer. So I hope you're subscribing, everybody. I hope you're clicking the bell. And let's real quick talk about this absurd story. Now, there's a man named Gene Park. Good-looking man. Good-looking Asian man. I bring that up. Why? Well, this is one of those stories where I go, thank God this man is considered a member of a marginalized group, because if not, I've seen what these game journalists do. If this was a white man, a regular, average white man, they would tear him to shreds and perhaps get him fired. I have seen it many times before, happen to many journalists, for the mere sake of infuriating this ridiculous mob. Now, here is what Gene Park did. Here was his offense against the gaming journalists. Colin Moriarty says, when I reached out to Gene Park of the Washington Post, I was eager to inquire about how a big newspaper, and the Washington Post, who Gene writes for, is a big newspaper. It's very interesting that he's covering games for them, and he's a great journalist. So his question was, how does a big newspaper cover our industry in an era where game media itself is in its death throes? And this is an episode of his podcast. Maybe I'll sign up for the Patreon so I can listen to it. I don't know. Regardless, he brought on Gene Park to talk about, is games media dying? Is game journalism dying? Is it finding a new foothold here at the Washington Post? And Gene Park was happy to be on the podcast, and he himself replied. Here was Gene's very simple retweet. He said, I had a very quick, pleasant chat with Colin about the trajectory of my career and my life. That's it. In a very simple world, that would be it. A man did a podcast. One man has a podcast. Another man appeared on the podcast. They talked about video game journalism. That's the end of it. It's honestly not that interesting, except maybe to guys like me who care about game journalism and media and whatever else. But as we can see, 91 quote tweets, 2,200 likes. Why is this very boring I went on a podcast getting so much traction? Well, here's the reason. Colin Moriarty is famously a guy who has right-wing politics, which is something you're not supposed to have in video games. He's a libertarian. I believe he might be a Trump voter. I'm not sure. I might have that wrong. But regardless, he's a guy who does not fit in with and I always hate using these buzzwords. I hate them. I don't like them because I don't think they're good labels. But I don't like putting labels on things because I think they're dismissive. But this is honestly the best way to summarize these people. He's not one of these social justice warriors. Okay? He doesn't care that much about your feelings and your identity and whatever else. He's just here to talk about games. And maybe even make some jokes that get him in trouble. He made the most boring joke in the world, famously. He made a joke. It was International Women's Day. Here we go. The tweet heard around the world. It was a day without a woman. Hashtag. And Colin said, peace and quiet. And based on this stupid, silly dad joke, joking that women talk too much and they're loud and obnoxious and annoying. Oh my God. He had to resign from his own company. Thankfully went his own way. But look, quits in the wake of sexist tweet, an offensive tweet. This is a stupid joke. And you got Polygon reporting on it like this man said he wants to kill women. Look, and people said, is this really who you want to be? This is horrible. How dare you? Well, thankfully Colin has gone his own way and made his own way in the world. But now we're not allowed to talk to him. That's the way game journalism is, and that's why I had to leave, is it's one giant clique where everyone has to agree with each other on all political topics. If you stray in any way, you're a danger to the community, and you will be forced out. You will be blacklisted. You will not be allowed to write for these sites. You will find that nobody's asking you to write news articles. Nobody's asking you to write anything. They just want you to leave. They give you the cold shoulder and you're gone. It happened to me. It happened to a lot of my friends. And you just move on. You go, fine. You guys run all the websites. You're running them all into the ground anyway. What's wrong with you? So by the mere fact, remember, Gene is a professional gentleman, a member of a marginalized group, the Asian community. Here has been all the people coming at Gene Park for daring to simply appear on a podcast. He didn't even say anything controversial. He just was willing to talk to this man. Here's, you know what? Actually, I want to see who these people are. Here's Jed Whittaker from Destructoid, a outlet which has completely fallen apart, saying, I'm willing to go on a problematic person's podcast to better myself, and you shouldn't criticize me for that. Jed, this guy is the ultimate loser. The idea that he's sniping at a professional like Gene Park, who has, again, has 86,000 followers. Jed is working for a D-tier publication like Destructoid. Shut up, Jed. Here's good old Movie Bob weighing in. Movie Bob says, I understand you can't be pure in media. I don't agree with every single thing every single person I ever worked with believes in or stands for. But seriously, Gene, you went on with Colin Moriarty? Shut up, Movie Bob. Jesus Christ. Here's a writer for Polygon, Vice, Wired, Cian Maher. He says, I love your work, and I look up to you a lot. Did you really think this was a good idea? Despite the fact that this guy has sent his followers after an enormous amount of your peers, all of whom had to lock or in some cases delete their accounts to deal with it. I ask, can you give one example of this guy sending his followers at anybody? Nobody has given me any examples of Colin sicking his audience on people. Now, he retweets stupid people on here, and his followers might then also ridicule the stupid people, but that's not sicking his followers on you. That's you being stupid. And the masses, the what do you call it, overwhelming majority of people believing that you are stupid. If you don't like that, what do you want? You have an unpopular opinion. You can't complain, oh my God, I have to lock my account. Oh my God, Colin Moriarty's audience is coming for me. Deal with it. I've been ratioed 1,000,000 times. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't kill you. It's a computer. Log off, walk away. Here's Carly Velasi, the editor and head of games at Windows Central and Android Central, saying, I like you, Gene, but this man has a very bad influence in our industry and has peddled in actively dangerous viewpoints. Blah, 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 blah. He's a bigot. He's been behind targeted harassment and actively he's a guy with a podcast. Again, you're trying to cancel this guy because he went on a podcast and talked about his career and talked about video game reporting. What do you think is happening here? Gene Park is not contributing to a wave of hatred, and neither is Colin Moriarty. This is ridiculous. Here's Jessica Howard, editor at GameSpot. Again, all the people coming at this guy are low-level journalists working at, this person is probably bargain basement editing, like, I don't know, Cooking Mama walkthroughs or something, and they feel that they are in any position to educate a professional like Gene Park. This is so disheartening. There are so many marginalized journalists and creators this guy and his followers have harassed and blah, 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 blah. Oh my God. Just get over yourself, people. Here's Carly going, I'm getting harassment just for tweeting at you. That's his audience. You're getting harassment because you're being an idiot and nobody is behind your idiocy. Again, how do you people not understand this yet? It's not harassment to tell you you're an idiot. People disagree on the internet. People make fun of each other. It's Twitter. This platform exists only to fight. Why do you think that you, as a marginalized person or whatever, get to just cry and go, no, I can't believe they're being mean to me? Like, we all deal with it. Just get over yourself. And then finally, because they accuse Colin of being a Gamergate guy, we have Sanjia here saying, we need a list of Gamergaters who are still in games media, even if they're popular and act good now. Basically saying, and I'm sorry that it's cut off, but basically this is the exact problem that I ran into, is that these people, they want to be able to fire people. All they want is the power to create their own little safe space where the only journalists allowed in it are good and pure. And this is, I mean, this whole Gamergate thing happened, what, in 2015? And she's still talking about 7 years later, we need to make a special blacklist to keep these people out of our spaces and fire them, anyone who is even the slightest amount associated with that nonsense. Get over it. Move on. Why do you... These people always talk about gatekeeping, and game journalism is the most gatekeep space you'll ever find. There is no diversity of ideological thought. Everyone is the most furthest left psychopath. And remember, I push left. I'm center left. Okay? I voted for Biden. I'm a dirty, disgusting leftist. And they still, I've had people in game journalism tell me, you're just too toxic. You're too toxic. Are you kidding me? I'm a bleeding heart pussy liberal. And I can't believe that even a guy like me, who has 99% of the good politics, I make a couple bad jokes, and I've been banned forever. And, well, thank you, Gene Park, for not backing down. It doesn't seem like he's backed down. He's not apologized. He's not said, I'm sorry. I went on Colin Moriarty's podcast. He said, I don't think I've done anything wrong. I think we had a very fine chat, and I don't believe all of you guys calling Colin Moriarty a harasser of marginalized communities. You need to push me or point me to some sort of evidence, because I won't take that claim at face value. So Gene Park, a true professional, Colin Moriarty, also a true professional, being sniped at by a bunch of losers working at, again, D-tier outlets, working as bargain basement editors, putting together trash, filth journalism. Mad that two professionals at the top of their game had a conversation. Frankly, pathetic behavior from these game journalists. But let me know what you guys think. Am I being too mean? Are the game journalists all good people? And they're just trying to make the world better when they tell you, you know, your video games are sexist and racist, and you're not allowed to have boobs in your video games anymore, and the games are mean to black people because there's not enough hairstyles. Look, there's problems we got to solve, but my God, I swear every video game journalist, the only thing they know how to do is complain. They never say anything positive. The only time they have anything positive to say is that they're like, in this new video game, you can date 50 guys and suck all their dicks. Then they're positive. Okay? But everything else, they're negative about. Let me know in the comments what you think. Veto Nation, baby. Hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to check out superkiller.org to check out my upcoming comic book. Get on the mailing list. You're going to get a special surprise just for signing up. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. And, again, pathetic behavior from these journalists. What's wrong with these people? Come on.